I think it's something I've had to work on a lot in my life. I grew up, I think, just naturally being interested in things that a lot of people don't find interesting. I think when I was younger, I would just not talk and I would just shy away because you'd either get the deadpan or the glass over, yeah, or I'd just think, oh, they don't want to hear that, or they'll think I'm a weirdo if I even bring it up. So I think if I were to sum it all up, I'd say courage. I think courage to talk about the nerdy things that I've done since I was 10 years old, which I never talked about with anybody, and then realizing there's hundreds, if not thousands, or hundreds of thousands of people who are interested in the same thing that you're interested in. And that's taken a lot of growth, is getting to the stage of just having the courage to be like, yeah, I'm not necessarily interested in this, this, and this. Have you heard about this? And 9 times out of 10, even if they haven't, they're usually interested to hear about it. So I guess that's what I try to bring into every single day, to replace the monotony of how's your day, not bad, what do you do, I do this for work, how's that, yeah, good, and try to break into something a little bit more interesting, whether it's history, philosophy, psychology, or even just anything about the person that I'm talking to. I think coming back to that human connection. Not only is it a genuinely interesting point to hear about people's lives, like what this is all about, what you're doing as well, but I think people get more drawn to you, and it's not the reason you do it, but even in a business setting, people get excited to come back because you're not just going to go through the motions of how you going, not bad, how's work, yeah, good, busy, yeah, everyone's busy, blah, 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 blah. It's like, sweet, I wonder what I'm going to talk to about today with my haircut. And sometimes I don't hit the mark. Sometimes I bring up a topic that's like, this one wasn't a good one. But having the courage to just try, play, most people aren't going to bite your head off if you start talking about something more interesting than the weather. My name's Tommy. I'm a part owner of a barbershop. I've been doing this now for nearly 15 years. I absolutely love it. I think the human connection side of cutting hair is one of my favorite aspects of doing this, and I think just being able to, be that one person that can make someone's day that little bit better is a really, really nice feeling. I think the style and the fashion and all that kind of stuff is what keeps it interesting. I think if this didn't have that human connection side of things, it probably wouldn't interest me as much, because I think that's one of the most important things in life. So anything I do in life, I've come from a background of music. I think that has a similar mindset, not even really realizing it at the time, is that craving of human connection and being able to do something, create something from nothing, share it with people, and then have that resonate. And I guess hopefully if you can inspire someone, that's great. If someone can just go, that's mad, that's also great. When I'm not doing this, I'm usually running stuff in the community for tabletop gaming and a lot of really nerdy things that I'm also super passionate about. And I just wish that kind of stuff was more available when I was younger, because I think the world has changed. I think people are a lot more accepting of one another these days, and there's more opportunity to be yourself, and I think that's a really good thing and worth celebrating. So yeah, I've got a group of friends and we get together and we try to simulate this amazing sporting facility that we have in Gympie, but for people who aren't necessarily interested in sports and they want to get together and play Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer and just have a bit of escapism for the day and meet people who are like them, and yeah, hopefully those connections last forever and our job is done in that regard. And if we get to have a bit of fun playing some games in the meantime, that's just a mad added bonus. I've always had a very innate understanding of my mortality, and it's something I've subconsciously thought about since I was a young person, just knowing that this isn't a permanent thing. This is a very finite experience that we get to do. And you can see, like, I think since the sort of introduction of a lot of incredible technologies which we all love and use, it's definitely created this epidemic of loneliness, and it's really sad, I think, especially in young people, you know, because we have so much capability to do so much, but in that pursuit we're losing, you know, connection to nature and connection to one another and all those kind of things. And I think it's got a direct correlation with that. And I think, I don't know, I notice that when I sort of pursue these goals of human connection, it makes me feel a lot better. It makes probably whoever I'm having that human connection with feel a lot better. And I probably notice it within myself, because I can get the blinkers on and get obsessed with the project and lock myself in my brain room, and before I know it, it's like I haven't spoken to anybody or, you know, reached out to any friends or people that matter to me in a while. And yeah, you just notice when you do, everyone feels better. And yeah, I think it's going to be a real tough thing navigating coming into this new stage of life, with technology replacing so much of these things, like the ability to have conversations, like, you know, ChatGPT is wonderful and being able to have access to all the information. But when I talk to young people in the barbershop, I ask them what they use it for, and a lot of them say that they use it for someone to talk to. And as great as that is, I think it also showcases a real huge problem in our society, and something that I think is important and worth trying to solve. I can also be guilty of this, mind you. I can spend hours on my phone, and I have to remind myself sometimes that it is just a tool. It's not the be-all and end-all. And I think because we have gotten to this stage where we use it for most of communication, I think that's the fundamental breakdown. So if I could give any advice to anybody, it's like, be the first person to say hello. Like, if you recognize someone in the street, we all have those awkward moments where you don't really make eye contact. Like, be that person to yell out, "Hey, what's happening, brother?" Or like, "Hey, I haven't seen you for ages." And if you can add like one more sentence into every single interaction, you'll be amazed at just how much people open up and reach out, and makes you want to reach out, and those interactions become far less awkward. So instead of, "Hey, how you going?" "Good." It's like, "Hey, how you going?" "Great, I've been working on this thing, it's been stressing me out a fair bit, but you know what, I'm loving it. But I'd love to have a distraction from it right now. What are you up to?" It's something I get asked quite often, because I try to be quite friendly and kind everywhere that I go, and sometimes it does break my heart when I hear that, because I guess the philosophy is, I wish that was just the norm. I wish people did treat one another with more kindness and compassion, and as much as, like, you know, we've all seen it on those like sort of cheesy Etsy store sort of things, like, I think being that change that you want to see is a very genuine thing. Especially the more you do it, the more you realise how honestly easier your life is. People want to help friendly people want to engage with friendly people, and people don't want to spend time with miserable people, even though misery loves company. But yeah, I'd rather just, I don't know, let people know that I'm not that type of person. I think, like that old saying, it's very hard to let someone in and love you if you struggle to love yourself, and that's an ever-growing thing. I think you have to accept who you are as a person. You have to accept your frailties in life. You have to accept your weaknesses. And if you're interested in growing and working on those things, then I think that's not only good for you, it's also good for the people who are also trying to lift you up, especially if they're doing the same thing. I truly believe honesty and communication and being transparent with that and how you're feeling and everything, especially with the people who matter the most to you, is the most important thing, I think, when it comes to happiness. Because happiness is a fleeting moment. Happiness can happen when you're watching a movie. Happiness can happen when you taste a really well-made coffee, but it stays with you for maybe a moment. So I think what I really strive for is being content. And I think contentment is the goal for me, and I have more moments of happiness when I'm content. I used to be all about the power of positive thinking and all that kind of stuff, and I still am. I think it's good to, you know, the power of your word has such a profound effect on people. Like if you were to go outside and be rude to someone who's made your coffee, that'll put the person who's made your coffee in a bad mood, and then they might be rude to the next person who they make a coffee for. That person goes home and is then rude to their wife and their kids, and the wife goes to work and is rude to their co-workers, and the kids go to school and they're rude to their classmates. And it's amazing how if you just like go right back to that very first standpoint of just saying something nice, even if someone's just like completely monumentally ruined your day, it's a fleeting moment. Don't make it a big deal. That person might be going through something a million times worse than what you're going through, and just give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, sometimes the coffee's burnt, doesn't matter, it's all good, you got coffee. Some people don't even get that. I think when I was younger, I just like couldn't wait to stop working and to stop grinding and all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting, as I get older, I realise that those things do create those moments of happiness and being content. So I think my goal now is to be able to free up my autonomy to work on the projects and the things that I really would love to see grow, and the ideas that I have that I just at this stage in life don't have as much time for. And yeah, if I can help teach some of those skills that I've learnt from mentors and from people and research and all the things that I do in my life, if I can pass on any of that sort of knowledge or help to people who mightn't have access to it, I think that's really important and something that I feel more passionate about as I get older. Yeah, I think that's where I can see myself going, is being able to free up my own autonomy so that I can work on projects that help more people, and I think that's where I'd love to grow into. I think going through, when you look back at history, as a species we've gone through so much, and coming into new phases of life, whether it's politics or technology or, you know, wars, all these kind of terrible things that happen that can also be wonderful, like technology and stuff, is just remember, you know, for tens of thousands of years now, like every single person that has ever been related to you, every single one of your ancestors has struggled and strived and thrived and you know, dug through the dirt to get to the stage where you get to experience this incredible thing called life. So as hard as times can get, and as hard as it is to try and remind yourself of these moments, but just think about how incredibly lucky you are to be here, how lucky you are to experience this. And when things get scary and things get, you know, the future seems, you know, bleak or unreadable, just remember, we as a species have gone through this so many times, and we've strived through it, we've grown through it, and we've become better as a species for it. So don't get discouraged. Keep being positive, keep being that change you want to see, and yeah, I promise life's just going to get better every single day if you just focus on the positive things.